dropped 3 mid projects. Hey man, it was fun while it lasted. You're washed.
Yeah.
Kendrick really gave him a spanking.
He made him reflect.
All right, so Iceman has been out for about 10 hours now. And look, there's simply too much music here for me to sit down and give you a proper, thorough review in one shot. So instead of rushing through it and giving you something half-baked, we're gonna do something better. We're gonna let the people speak. Because here's what's already brewing. Drake took some shots at Rick Ross on Iceman last night, and apparently Rick Ross woke up this morning with something to say about it. We've also got Charlamagne the God weighing in, and you already know he's not gonna hold back. So we're diving into both reactions right now. Charlamagne and Rick Ross. Let's see exactly where they stand. If you're enjoying the breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Let's get into it.
Bars. Bars. Damn. Niggas say 3 albums are trash albums, 2 years too late. What site is this? Complex? The Glazer University. Oh my God, I've been a long fan. Oh my God. Mr. YouTube. Fuck a big 3 anyway. There was too many chefs in the kitchen. Bars. Come on guys, stop. Y'all gotta, let's all leave Lil Man's alone now, man. He did it. He dropped 3 mid projects. Hey man, it was fun while it lasted. You're washed. It's a beautiful morning, perfect time to feed yourself the knowledge. The knowledge. What's that? Rory and Maul, get off your knees. Get the testicles out of your mouth now. I don't know which one, the white one or the black one. Y'all both the same. Rory Maul, the Glazers. The Glazers, how y'all feel now? You know, Drake just committed suicide. I'm sure he'll retire next month. How is this lawsuit doing? How is the Drake University lawsuit coming? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I didn't listen to YouTube, man, last night. I'm just going by what you guys say. But once again, we up again, baby. It's the biggest boss. Where's Iceman? There's Iceman. The throat goats are in the building, guys.
Here's where I actually have a problem with all of this. That line Drake dropped at Rick Ross, it had to sting, because from where I'm sitting, it was one of the lightest shots you can throw. Drake said, "I've been Aiden Ross before Aiden Ross even existed." That's it. That's a sprinkle. That's barely even a shot. It's more like a flick. And yet, Rick Ross woke up ready to go to war over it. Here's what makes it even more interesting. Just the other day, Ross was sitting down with Nadeska and Ebro, and the energy in that room was completely different. He was out there sounding like a man trying to close a chapter, talking about how French Montana had been working behind the scenes trying to get the two of them in a room together, saying things like, "We're bosses, we're supposed to win, we don't want to see you fail." Even bringing up the history, how French once told him to call Drake back in the day when Ross was sitting at the top of the game. That was the tone, that was the vibe he was giving just days ago. So now Drake throws a light jab on a track, and suddenly all of that goes out the window. You're backtracking everything you said in that interview because of one mild line. Look, Drake helped elevate a lot of careers at different points. That's well documented. But Rick Ross is not some newcomer who needs protecting from criticism. This is a legend, a respected lyricist with a catalog that speaks for itself. One casual bar from Drake shouldn't be enough to pull you out of your zone and send you into reaction mode first thing in the morning. That response felt bigger than the shot that caused it, and that's what's strange about the whole thing. But let's see what Charlamagne had to say, because his take on all of this might surprise you.
Here, guys, Drake dropped 3 albums last night. He dropped Iceman, he dropped Maid of Honor, and then he also dropped an album called Habibti.
There's no way anybody can have an opinion on this music yet. Nobody listened to all 3 of those albums.
Not enough for it to sink in either, because I feel like on Iceman, that's where he's getting like really reflective and getting into a lot of the things. Again, I haven't heard Habibti, but I think some of the stuff got to set in a little bit. So let's get to just some of the things people were talking about, because Charlamagne, you let us know that a lot of this stuff was going to be happening on this album. I don't know how you knew.
I didn't only said 3 things.
You said
Future was going to be on it.
Yes.
He was going to diss Khaled and A$AP Rocky. That's it.
But those are big things to know. Now let's take a listen let's start with Jay-Z, because he threw a couple shots at Jay-Z. Let's take a listen to Whisper My Name.
I take 500K, not a dinner. I never could learn from none of y'all.
You gonna yawn. But one of the opening title tracks for the album, Make Them Cry, it's very, very...
I like that record.
I love that record. And I think if we're having a conversation about Drake getting into the things other than what we've been hearing about the battles, this one sets the tone for that. Let's take a listen to Make Them Cry.
My dad got cancer right now. We battling stages.
FYI, the line at the end about his father, that's very reflective of where he is at personally.
Yes.
Everything else is very woe is me about the industry.
Yeah, but I think the gist of what I took from it is like there's so much going on in his life right now. There's a lot of like people make it seem like he's making this battle his end all be all. He's like
no. Ain't no people. He makes it seem like this battle is the end all be all.
But once you hear,
no people.
But when you hear this record, have you heard the record in full?
Yes, okay, that's the first record on the album.
When you hear this record though, you don't feel like okay, that stuff is there in its surface level.
No,
but it's just because he hasn't really gotten into everything else yet.
And at the end is when he mentions his father. Everything else is definitely woe is me, cry me a river. They jump me, mommy, but I'm coming back with the chopper on everybody.
They jump me, mommy. Oh my God.
You talked about the caliber. I know we played that this morning.
You put yourself in a tough position when you call somebody out like that though, because people are gonna say, well, what have you ever stood for, Drake?
Right.
True. And you can't point to anything.
I mean, you've been here eating off the black experience in America for a long time. I ain't never heard you,
not publicly
say Black Lives Matter. You can say, even though you have black, but
well,
at least say Black Lie. Black lie.
Oh my gosh.
How do you say half of black
we
lie?
can have ally.
You can only say you can only say nig.
You definitely can only say nig.
That's to get to another conversation. So people think because he dropped these 3 albums at one time that this is his way of ending what his obligations are to the label, right?
Okay.
Now, I just found out that he also self-funded this album, which I think is a telltale sign. It gives him a lot of control. But on Firm Friends, which is on Iceman, he talks about going independent and kind of explains Iceman. Let's take a listen.
I will be making a name change from the boy to the man.
That sounds like some heat would probably with album that on.
That's on Iceman too. That's on Firm Friends.
Boy, Kendrick beat Drake's ass so bad that he's been reflecting on his life the last 3 years. You heard him say, I'm gonna become a man.
Yeah, because on Euphoria, Kendrick definitely told him.
I've never seen a man get his ass beat like this and reflect on life in this way.
Life and business.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Kendrick really gave him a spanking.
He made him reflect.
You know, sometimes your parents beat you and you got to go sit in your room and you got to really think about your life, but it helps you in the long run. Y'all Drake fans might thank Kendrick later, yo.
Gosh. He did.
Listen, yo, that type of beat, and he be like,
all y'all Drake fans might have to thank Kendrick later for real.
I mean, look.
Wow.
I feel like he's on the brink of trying to break through.
Wow.
He's trying to get there. He's trying.
He is. Yeah. I mean, I like it though. He like, maybe I do need to grow up. Maybe I need to go from a boy to a man.
He questioning everything. Even on that 1 a.m. in Albany, he's like, what is it, the braids? He's asking himself, what is it? He's like, what is it, the braids? Like, he's really questioning his life.
Yes, but Charlamagne, you say you want Drake to dig deeper. We all, a lot of people, you want more substance, right?
I just find it funny that it took an ass whipping. Sometimes it takes an ass whipping. Sometimes it's hard to reach people unless you put some hands on them. These hands were verbal, but it's made Drake reflect on his life the last couple of years.
I already knew exactly what the narrative was going to be before anyone said a word. And I want you to pay close attention over the next few days as the commentary rolls in, because there's a pattern you need to watch for. No matter what any commentator thinks about the album, watch how many of them find a way to make Kendrick Lamar the center of the story. If they think the album is good, Kendrick whipped Drake back into shape. The beef lit a fire under him. Kendrick gave him something to fight for, something to prove, a reason to go hard in the studio again. If they think the album is bad, Kendrick broke him. Drake lost his confidence, lost his identity, and now he walks into the studio not knowing who he is as an artist anymore. Either way, good or bad, Kendrick is somehow the explanation. That's the rhetoric. Watch for it. And here's what's frustrating about that. The fans on social media already predicted this take before the album even dropped. People were calling it out in advance. So you think that the commentators, the ones who do this professionally, who built entire careers on being sharp and original, you'd think they'd recognize that and choose a different angle, something more thoughtful, something that actually adds to the conversation. But instead, we're getting the exact take that everyone saw coming. Charlamagne the God is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's built one of the most influential platforms in media, and the best he could bring to the table for this album rollout was a collection of pre-packaged Twitter opinions that fans had already written out days earlier? I honestly expected more from him. And here's the part that stood out to me most. Listening carefully to what he was saying, you could hear that he actually liked the album, but he couldn't say that cleanly. Why? Because Jay-Z got mentioned on this project, and Charlamagne can't be seen showing too much love to Drake without someone questioning his loyalties. So instead, he splits it down the middle, sprinkles in a few compliments, then spends a couple of minutes picking the album apart, just enough to make sure everyone knows he's still on the right side of the fence. Still Team Kendrick, still Team Jay-Z, still untouchable. I'm not here to go too deep down that road, but I will say I could see straight through most of what he was putting out this morning. Anyway, that's where we are. Let me know what you think in the comments. What's your take on the album so far? What did you make of the reactions from Ross and Charlamagne? For what it's worth, Iceman is still the strongest piece of the three projects to me. I wish Drake had pulled back from the beef references a little more and just let the music breathe, but there is genuinely good music on that album. That part is hard to argue with. Drop your thoughts below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.